Hello, today's going to be day 94 of my daily journal. Today was Sunday. It was, I was opening driver. And, yeah, for the most part, I was just trying to get today over with. Just because it's the last day before I take my week off. And so I was just kind of wanting to get it over with. Hopefully still making some okay money, but I was really just trying to get things done with. So I went and I was opening driver like normal. I had all my stuff with me. It was real cold today. For some reason, the weather recently just decided to go completely cold. Like last week or the week before, we were getting into like the mid to high 80s, and then all of a sudden, right now, it's down into the 40s. You know, it's crazy weather, but yeah, it was a pretty cold day today, in all honesty, and I do not like the cold. I despise the cold. The only good thing about the cold is that you can layer more clothes on to make better outfits. More layers done properly makes better outfits, you know? That's the only benefit to the cold. But yeah, I went and just did my normal stuff. I had to make a deposit today to the bank, so I did that before the store opened. Washed the dishes, and then prepped whatever I needed to prep. And yeah, today was a little bit more of an interesting day though. There is a new. She's been there for like a couple weeks, I think, at this point, but she's still like relatively new. New coworker that was just hired, and in the time that we've been there, or in the time that she's been there, I haven't really talked to her. I haven't seen her really talk with anybody either. I normally talk to people, during the shift or whatever, or I just talk to people during my shift, just because, why not? It doesn't do me any harm to be friendly or whatever. But like I said, since she's been there, I haven't talked at all really. Today though, we actually did talk. It was just some basic work stuff, and also some music stuff, like music that she listens to and everything. And she also showed me her playlist that she has. It's an interesting playlist. It's a decent amount of people I've never heard, good amount of stuff that I have heard. Varied selection of genres. It was an alright playlist. But yeah, just talking, getting friendly. Yeah, that was something. Like I said, never talked before, never seen her talk with anyone. She's kind of always been, just chilling on her phone at the front counter, or just hanging out in the little office area. So that was interesting. But yeah, talked to her, did normal work stuff still, box up pizzas, run my deliveries, all that stuff. And yeah, that was the day. That was my work day. Afterwards, I I got off, I came home, and my dad finished the wall that has the window in it, which is the wall directly behind my phone. But he basically, he got all the paint off, or all the paint that would come off, and he cleaned it and everything. And so now we just got to go through and do the other 3 walls. And yeah, we got to take the paint off of them, and then clean them and everything, sand them down, get them ready to put the primer on, and then to put the paint on. Yeah, that is gonna take up the majority of the week, taking off the paint of the walls and getting them ready to be primed and painted. That's gonna take majority of the week. Other than that, like I said, I'm planning on hanging out with some friends of mine over the weekend, going do some fishing. I enjoy fishing, so no issues with me. He was showing me, what he did, and telling me about how to take it off and clean it and all that stuff. That way I can do it, throughout the day and everything. But yeah, there was that. I went out to eat today, and I headed over towards Deep Ellum. It's just outside of Dallas, but I went over to Deep Ellum. I went to the place that I went to on my birthday. It's called Hawkers, which, if I remember correctly, is the name for like street vendors in Korea, I believe. That's what they're called. But I went, I ordered some lamb, some chicken, and some roti. I believe that's what it's called. It's I believe it's like naan bread, where you kind of just like tear it, eat it, dip it in some stuff. Tried that, really good. I did enjoy it. The sauce that they had with it, a little spicy, had a little kick to it, real nice. The lamb was good. I tried the chicken this time because I didn't try the chicken skewer last time that I was there. Real good chicken, juicy too. That was a real nice surprise. And then had a light beer. I don't remember what it was called, but it was a Japanese beer. The place is obviously like Asian inspired cuisine, and all that stuff. They have Japanese whiskeys, they got sake, they got, and then they got the standard like Jack Daniels and all that other stuff. But I had a Japanese beer. It was a light beer, so that was nice. Just the one. And had some nice food, drank a little bit, came home. On my way home, I picked up some onion rings for my dad and my brother. My dad asked me to pick up some onion rings for him while I was out, and also a Pepsi. I picked him up a Pepsi. I picked my brother up a Big Red. I stopped by QT for those. I went to Sonic for the onion rings. And yeah, that was my night. Tomorrow I start my week off, and I'm going to be taking the paint off of the walls. Stop by my coffee shop in the morning and get a coffee, wake myself up, spend a little bit of time there, and then come home and start working on this, because everything is here basically. Other than the furniture, we have everything. Paint, primer, all of the tools. Like I said, we just don't have the furniture. So yeah, just gonna start taking off the paint. And then for sure, by the end of this week, I will have a newly painted room, some new furniture, and yeah, maybe a couple of new items. I'm not 100% sure. I might go out and buy them. But yeah, I'll for sure have a newly painted room, some new furniture, and I mean, yeah, like I said, that's gonna take up a majority of the week. So, but yeah, that is everything. So, thank you for watching. Anybody that watches, thank you for commenting. Anybody that comments, I do read them and I do appreciate them, and I do hope that you had a good day today. And if you didn't, well, then I hope that the next couple of days are better for you. And until my video for you guys Tuesday, that is everything that I got. Tuesday, the room might look a little different. It'll probably look very different, actually, just because my dad was talking about getting the paint off of at least like one per day, you know. So ideally, if we did it by that, I would go from this wall over here to this back wall, then to the wall over here. So if we do that, then definitely Tuesday you'll see that this whole wall right here has like no paint on it. It'll be stripped down to the wood. So it will look very different, to say the least. But yeah, with that being said, that's all that I got for you guys. So till Tuesday, see ya.